So apparently the next Michael Jordan is right in front of us.
Oh my God.
That's it. 3-2, Suns lead.
Dixon.
Better watch out.
Yeah, fuck Devin Booker. No cap, bro. After that intro, fuck Devin Booker.
Yeah, we outside, nigga.
I ain't gonna lie. That was I haven't used this word in years. That was the douchiest thing I've ever seen. Bro. You blowing somebody out, call it a Luka special and a hard foul. Then you're just nodding your head at the podium like, you better watch out, man. I douche. I'm cool with D-Book, but that was a douche moment, bro. That's the only word I can use, too.
Shout out to Luka, bro. What he did to them Phoenix Suns, bro. Oh, man.
GG's,
bro.
That's.
GG's.
Clock out for me, gang.
27 lead. Down goes Johnson. 3.
That's my king. That's my king.
Luka Doncic is absolutely putting on a show here, and the Dallas Mavericks are going to the Western Conference Finals. We've got some words exchanged at the other end.
Look at these bitch-ass Suns, bro.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
Gonna be like that, so don't really care. I want to win the championship.
That's the sign of a good man. If he can talk shit when it's even score, or talk shit when you're behind. When you're ahead, it's easy to talk. On April 28th, 1988, in the 4th playoff appearance of his career, Michael Jordan took the court against the Cleveland Cavaliers, looked around at the crowd and thought, man, I still haven't accomplished shit. That is because at this point in time, Michael Jordan had not only lost 3 consecutive first-round playoff series, but also, in those 3 years, his career, he had won just a single playoff game. Soon, absolutely none of this would matter, as by the time the night was over, Mike would finish with 50 points in a Chicago Bulls Game 1 win, and then proceed to score 55 in a Bulls Game 2 win. By the time the series was over, Michael Jordan had quieted some of his earliest doubters, as he averaged an insane 45 points per game in his first ever playoff series victory. But what if
yo,
let's not skip over that, bro. God damn.
Come on, bro. Look, I understand. Look, if you got Ring, Braun, Will, whoever is your GOAT, I do not care. But I want y'all to understand, Michael Jordan, bro. That is a bad motherfucker, dog. Yo, first series win. Oh, all right. I've been losing enough. I'm gonna just drop 45 a night. What?
Pace. Fuck out of here, bro. Fuck out of here. I don't care.
Yeah, or on pace to do it. No, I did it. I did it, literally.
As of right now, it is Luka Doncic, who is actually on a more impressive path to greatness, specifically playoff greatness, than Michael Jordan was at the same time in his career. That is right. You will soon see Luka is head-to-head with the GOAT right now. But should we really even be surprised? I say this because when we look at Luka Doncic's first 4 years in the NBA, we find that he is one of just 5 players in NBA history to average at least 24 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists per game over their first 4 seasons. On this list, as you can see, Luka has already joined some absolutely historic company. As with Luka, we have the first walking triple-double in Oscar Robertson, the NBA's logo in Jerry West, the GOAT of our generation in LeBron James, and the GOAT of everyone's generation in Michael Jordan. But what's crazy is that this is not our final list.
Just like button was pressed.
Bump up rebounds and assists from 5 to 7. Well, then suddenly, goodbye LeBron, goodbye Jerry, goodbye Jordan. Yes, even Michael Jordan is bounced here. The only 2 names remaining are Luka and Oscar Robertson. And in his first 4 years in the NBA, Luka put up 26, 8, and 8. I had to lower the numbers to get some more names here. That is how historic Luka Doncic has already been in the regular season. But as we just saw with the Phoenix Suns, the regular season really does not mean anything. I don't know about you, but I want my all-time NBA GOAT, the greatest to ever do it, to be an absolute assassin when the games matter the most, when the lights are the brightest during the NBA playoffs. So that really is the goal here. Find out who is the best playoff performer in NBA history, and
this is literally crazy. Wait, is that about to be?
No, bro.
I was like, I literally said earlier, depends how you argue it, because you could argue it's on track. Technically, you can. If he says, it should, we best playoff performer I seen, case closed. He's crazy.
If you're going to make that, he's already the best playoff performer ever.
That's a hope doesn't happen. So far, I've agreed with most of the things he said, but if he says Luka's him now, Whoa.
But how do we determine that? Well, let me introduce you to playoff game score. One of the best ways we have to figure out who really steps up their game in the playoffs. Because what game score does is measure the value of a player's entire box score.
Oh god. Now, for those who don't know, Corzemba has a video talking about Kevin Durant as well and why the hate was overblown, and it was primarily based off of game score. I'm just not a big fan of the stat, especially when you're making hyperbolic statements. Not hyperbolic, but like really big statements like this. He's the next Michael Jordan.
For those, there were some, not many in the comment section of that video, but for those in the comment section who think we just didn't do any research, that's not true. It was cut out. We did a lot of looking into the stat, a lot of looking into certain series and seeing what we agree and disagree with based off of the stat. That's one. But two, what I'm scared of is if he repeats the same thing he did in that video, which is for the rest of these 7-8 minutes, it's nothing but game score. That's my main issue, even if it was points per game, stat that we all agree with. I hope the whole premise of Luka being the best player performer isn't strictly off of game score, but we'll see.
Points, rebounds, steals, field goal percentage, you name it. Game score puts it in and then gives us a number that determines how well that player played. And throughout the course of NBA history, only 18 players ever have had a game score of 30 or more in at least 10 playoff games. Only 18. And when we look at that list, well, this list also makes perfect sense. We've got LeBron, Jordan, and then continuing down all the way to Allen Iverson. These are all some of the best players of all time. And yes, as you could see on this list, LeBron James ranks number 1. But isn't that the classic LeBron versus Jordan argument we already have? What matters more? Dominance in less time versus a longer period of greatness. Because as you can see, when we turn this list into 30 bombs per game, and yes, we're going with 30 bombs, it's much easier to say, just roll with me, we need this. Now we have got a completely different list for the people who believe, hey, a player's situation is sometimes out of their hands, and so maybe the best playoff performers were just never paired with the best teammates. It's interesting.
I'm sorry, Souls. I gotta stop it, bro. This is what I'm just not comfortable with. Like James Harden being barely worse than Dirk and better than Kobe and Tim is absurd. Like that right there, it's just something that we found things like this even with just Chris Paul's. It's just like I'm not comfortable with. But I mean, hey, all right, if we looking at strictly game score, I want to see where he goes with Luka with this. I'm sorry, it's like the third time we done stopped and said something like it, but I don't know. But taking a look at AI's individual games, I mean, everything makes sense very quickly. Stepping over Ty Lue is Allen Iverson's most iconic moment in a Game 1 NBA Finals win over Kobe and Shaq and the Lakers. But at the end of the day, AI did shoot 18 for 41 here. And so while this game was AI's signature performance of his career for sure, if we rewind just a bit, we find Allen Iverson's best game score performance was an absolute masterpiece against the Toronto Raptors in the Eastern Conference semifinals. In this game, Allen Iverson would start off by accepting his MVP trophy, and then he would put both a stamp on the trophy and everything together on the offensive end, as he would not only score 52 points, but as you can see, the man just culture stand up. If you only saw one game of Allen Iverson and this was it, you would think he was Steph Curry's inspiration. As in this game, AI connected on a career high 8 3-pointers and also shot 21 for 32 from the field. But let's be real here, we love AI, but this is the GOAT, and the greatest of all time has got to win titles. There has to be a combination, and that is why you see Jordan and LeBron at the top of both of these lists, just in a different order. They are two of basketball's legitimate greatest of all time candidates. But what about Luka? Does he actually rank with these guys? Well, if you were to put Luka on this historic list right now, he would soar above everyone. Yes, he would sky ahead of Michael Jordan to become #1 all time. Bro, average that 30 game score. I like the stat now.
We know how upset he just made Kendall Jenner. We know Luka is averaging 31.5 points a game, 10.1 rebounds, 6.6 assists, and 1.9 steals. But digging deeper here, we find that Luka is not only #1 on this historic list, but he also is on a historic pace. I mean, we are comparing him to Michael Jordan, right? So let's just do this side by side. Looking at Mike, we find that in Jordan's young playoff career, again, in his first 3 seasons, he did not accomplish anything team-wise. Same as Luka. And no matter what your thoughts are on Mike needing Scottie to win titles, mine are, of course he needed him. What player won more than 2 championships without a second star? Regardless of that, in 1988, in this first round win, Michael Jordan averaged 45 points a game and Scottie averaged 10. This series has largely largely
still
gone
wild to hear,
forgotten.
right?
But it was this series where Mike established that he was more than just another NBA star or even another NBA superstar. He was a player who was going to be in the actual GOAT conversation. By the time Mike's 4th season was over, he had racked up 30 bombs, a huge indication that he was indeed on the way to big future success. I mean, let's do a callback. Let's look at one of our first lists here. On this list of every player who has ever had more than 10 30 bombs, only one of the first 13 players on this list, Charles Barkley, love you Chuck, was not an alpha dog NBA champion. Luka, in just his 4th season with plenty of games left to go, possibly even 2 rounds left to go, already is halfway to joining those top 13 players. As wouldn't you know it, how many 30 bombs does Luka have right now? 7. And again, Luka has games left to play. Not to mention, we don't have to worry that Luka is an alpha dog. We do not have to worry that he is an insane competitor. Mike was a killer on the court for sure, yes. Meanwhile though, I think Luka should steal the nickname the Joker from Jokic, because Luka is the real maniac out there. Devin Booker talks trash to him and he really pulls a full-on Jordan. He says it's easy to talk trash when you're winning, then goes and takes down the #1 seed. And while he does it, he's laughing in everyone's faces. What did we just watch? I don't know, but I've always loved Luka. I'm so happy to see him succeed. I really think he is going to put himself in that GOAT conversation. I mean, the man is that good and I am here for it.
Look, a couple things. One, I get critical, I guess is the word, but I'm just a little bit questionable when it comes to the use of game score still. Maybe, again, I still need to read into the stat more, but I feel like there's way too much reliance, and this is the second video I've watched at least where, you know, the main argument is just solely based or primarily based off of game score. 2, I do agree that Luka is headed in that trajectory, right? Like of a top 10 all-time player, as we've seen so far. However, I just want us to be a little cautious because when we, you know, make these comparisons to Michael Jordan, to LeBron James, their careers, it's so crazy that LeBron even, you know, has gotten to his point that when we go forward with these Luka conversations, we're gonna have to, you know, shift his expectations to their expectations. We know LeBron's expectations is literally perfection. Literally. That's literally LeBron's expectations, and people still don't think he's greater than MJ. And you know what? I'm not even like, you know, if you think that way, it's fine, because Michael Jordan, again, his career is that almost flawless to the point where you can be almost flawless as well, and you still wouldn't have a better career than Michael Jordan. That's some really high expectations on Luka. I think, you know, LeBron has suffered through criticism because of these high expectations. Kobe as well, the constant comparisons to Michael Jordan. Some people didn't even appreciate what the fuck he was doing because, again, is it Michael Jordan? You know what I'm saying? Is this GOAT level? But that's really all I have to say.
Kobe has literally talked about being outside of the top 10 strictly off of being a carbon copy Jordan. It's wild. In regards to Luka, funny enough, y'all, I agree with Souls, but let me be clear. I also agree with Mike in the sense of I think Luka is on track in terms of just raw impact on the game this fast. Yes, it's 100%. It just would be hard to argue against Luka being on track to even potentially being the GOAT. Now, am I going to give him GOAT standards though? No, and that's what I fear that comes from this, right? Like, not necessarily Mike's video, that'd be crazy to point it all towards him. But in general, I hope what doesn't happen is essentially we know what Luka could be, and as a result, we're gonna rank him as he is that. And now it's just like, if Luka doesn't solo squad everybody, like if he loses to Golden State tonight, by the way, for anyone watching, if he loses to Golden State, are we about to be like, oh well, LeBron wouldn't have lost? Or Jordan wouldn't allow. Are we about to get that nasty this fast, bro? I just want to kind of end it with this for those that don't know what the fuck I'm saying, because I'm a poor speaker sometimes. Tatum had his best year to me this season. The take a leap narrative died, and the next Kobe narrative died. When you let Jason Tatum be Jason Tatum, he'll be Jason Tatum. He'll be the guy that we know he could be. Please, for the love of God, do not push this next bird better than Jordan thing so much so that Luka can't be Luka. Cause I promise you, if y'all let Luka, we gonna have that conversation. But if we will never have that conversation if y'all trying to make Luka MJ 4th season in the league. It won't happen.
Shout out to Luka as well, you know what I'm saying? We're team Luka over here, so we hope he ends up being the GOAT type shit and things of that nature.
I stand game score quick as a motherfucker. Luka win that bitch. But yeah, just show the game score a little bit. That's all I gotta say, really. Outside that, I agree with everything. Show the game score.
Watch this video right here, another video from Mike Rozemba, and we will catch you on the next one, man. Peace out.
Peace.